I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, when I heard what sounded like footsteps above me. At first, I thought it was my imagination. After all, I live alone in this old house, and my friends and family had all gone out for the evening, leaving me alone with my thoughts and my crippling fear of being utterly and completely alone. But the sound continued, slow, deliberate footsteps moving across the floor above me. My heart began to race, and I quickly scanned the room for something, anything that I could use as a weapon against whatever was up there. My eyes landed on a heavy glass table beside the bed, and I pulled it toward me, my fingers digging into its sharp corners as I did. Each step above me seemed to echo in my ears, growing louder and more menacing by the second. I don't remember how long I spent sitting there frozen in fear, paralyzed by the sound of whatever was slowly approaching. All I know is that I eventually started to hear other noises too, like scratching and shuffling. It sounded like someone or something was moving across the floor, getting closer. Then I tried to call out for help, but the sound caught in my throat and no one answered. My entire body shook with terror as the footsteps stopped directly above my bed. I squeezed my eyes shut and hugged the table to my chest, burying my face in its cool surface. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears, drowning out all other sound. I waited for what felt like an eternity, not daring to move or make a sound myself. Then the footsteps started again, moving away from the bed and back across the floor. This time, they were accompanied by a low, guttural growl that seemed to vibrate through the floor and up my legs. It took every ounce of strength I had to keep myself from screaming. I don't know how long I stayed like that, huddled under the covers with the table clutched in my hands, but eventually the sounds above me faded away and I was left in silence. Trembling, I got out of bed and slowly began to explore my apartment. I checked everywhere, each room and closet, but found nothing out of the ordinary. As the sun began to rise, I called my friends and told them about the sounds I'd heard. They came over as soon as they could, but by that time the apartment was silent and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. We checked the fire escape and the windows to make sure they were locked and bolted, but we couldn't find any way that someone or something could have gotten in or out. My friends looked at each other, their faces etched with concern. They tried to convince me that it was all in my head, that I'd somehow managed to convince myself that there was a threat in the apartment when there really wasn't one, but I knew what I'd heard. I knew because in those moments of complete and utter terror, when your life seems to flash before your eyes, you realize just how fragile it is. You realize that in the blink of an eye, everything can change. They tried to stay, but I told them I needed some time alone after what had happened. As they left, I went back to bed, pulling the covers over my head to block out the world. I lay there for hours, listening to the silence, waiting for the inevitable return of the footsteps, the scratching, the growling. But it never came, and as the day wore on, I began to wonder if I'd imagined it all. Had I really heard what I thought I'd heard? Was I truly in danger, or had my mind played tricks on me? The scariest moments are those when you're completely alone and every sound becomes a threat. Every creak of the floorboard, every rustle of the wind outside, every beat of your own heart, wondering if it's something else trying to break in, get out, trying to tell you that you're not alone. If you enjoyed this scary story, be sure to check out my other videos for more spine-chilling tales that will leave you sleeping with the lights on.